What is up? It's your boy Jonni Shreve, IFBB promo as tell like it is. Today we are at Blue Star Nutraceuticals facility. I hope you guys are ready to put on some muscle today because you're gonna love today's workout. We're doing a chest, shoulder, and tricep workout, part of our push day 1. This workout is gonna utilize a variety of machines and free weights. It's gonna be easily integrated for a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So without further ado, keep your eyes glued to the screen and your ears glued to the speakers, and let's learn some shit. We're gonna be putting out 5 more videos, part of our Push-Pull-Legs series. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the post notification button as well too. So next time we put a video, we're the first ones to get it. Now back to the show. Okay, first exercise, we're gonna do 15-degree incline dumbbell press. Now you guys can make it flat as if you want to as well. I like doing 15-degree incline because I feel like it's your best bang for your buck in terms of being able to incorporate your middle chest and your upper chest. For those of you guys who most of you guys might be lacking in the upper chest, so I like doing incline press. Now again, we're gonna be doing 8 to 12 reps, about 3-second negative, 1 second positive, and then we're gonna rest for about 1 to 2 minutes. All right, we're gonna kick the bells back as we roll back. Flex your abs, open your shoulders up a tiny bit right here, and we're gonna press up, push yourself into the ground. Again, stack the joints, basically making sure your fists, wrists, and elbows stay under the dumbbells. Use your first set to kind of give yourself like a little feeler. We call it like a feeler set. You know, feeling the weight out, we can kind of like judge if we can go up a little more the next set, going through the motions while warming up the muscles and then getting into your harder sets. Okay, so why is like a push-pull-legs one of your best ways to train and build muscle? Well, again, we're talking about building muscle and creating the most amount of volume outside of the muscular cell. Basically like you're filling the volume of blood around the muscle. Basically what we want to do is we want to train the muscle groups twice a week. That's like the entire chest, the entire shoulders, entire legs. The more frequent we can train, the more we can actually build muscle. We're forcing our body into adapting. So say I do chest on one day, which I'm doing today, say I do 8 hard sets on one day, then the next time I do chest and I have 4 more hard sets, I'm getting to that range where I'm filling the muscle up, putting under the most amount of tension, as frequent as I can possibly do it throughout the week. That's why push-pull-legs is probably your best option in terms of building muscle. And it's okay to count while you're doing it. 8, good. I definitely could have went to 2 more reps, but I definitely would have failed at that, and I'll have a spotter. My goal is to make sure that I get the minimum at least rep range. If I can't do the minimum rep range, it's too heavy. If I can do way more than the maximum rep range, then it's too late. So we're trying to find that weight in between that's gonna exhaust the muscle where you can continue to train hard, but it doesn't contradict your form as well too. So keep those things in mind when you're training. It's the quality of set, not the quantity of the weight. If I don't get 8 reps, I'm gonna do a rest pause set. Basically what I'm gonna do is, if I say fail at around like 6 reps, I'm gonna take about a 10-second break, 10 to 15-second break, catch my breath, and I'll go back again and do as many reps as I can until I get at least the minimum rep range. If I get it, within that, great, and then that'll be my set. There you have it. So 8 reps plus the drop set to the 4. Got my rep range and I got to my point where I went to failure. Not close to failure. 1 more rep would have been failure for sure. But you'll know what it feels like. And that's why I like to kind of preach going to failure just for beginners. So you can understand what it feels like to go to failure. So then you can actually say like, hey, I'm only 2 reps to failure. And then you can stop the reps then. But until you really know failure, you're not gonna really know how hard you can actually push yourself. So push yourself as hard as you possibly can, and then you can start backing off here and there. Okay, so next up we have incline machine press on this Arsenal incline press. I love this machine. Now, when it comes to getting into this, again, we don't need to really necessarily warm up. My chest is completely primed, obviously going through dumbbell press, which is gonna warm up a lot more, seeing it's a very unilateral, bilateral based workout. So I'm gonna feel a lot more. So here I don't have to waste my time going into a feeler set. So I do know what I can lift. So I'm gonna go right into a hard set or a working set right now, just to kind of save time and save energy. Okay, so we got 10 to 15 reps. We're gonna do a 2-second negative, so 2 seconds down, 1 second up. And we're gonna rest again 1 to 2 minutes. Now, do your best to avoid extreme arching of the back. Why? This is why. Right now, if I'm here, engaging my core, I'm working my chest, upper chest. If I do this, I've now taken my upper chest and moved it back and moved my lower chest up. So now we're almost doing like flat bench, right? So do your best to make sure we engage our core, flex our abs to keep ourselves planted on the bench when we're actually pressing. Again, making sure we're stacking the joints, fists, wrists, and elbows under the bar, and go again. There you go. Some machines are gonna be different than others. They're gonna feel different than others. Might feel a little heavier, might feel lighter. It's a great set. I got to almost 10. I'm gonna back off, and don't be afraid to back off. It's not about how much you can lift, it's about how good and efficient you can make that set. So I'm gonna dice this off. I'm gonna put on the 35 instead of the 45. My next set will probably still keep me in that rep range, but I'll be able to push out a little bit more. Remember, time and attention is key. That's what's gonna give you the best environment to building more muscle. So the longer your set is, the better off you are. Now, as your workout goes on, you're probably gonna need the entire rest. Make sure you only rest to the maximum amount of rest you're allowed to make sure your workout stays efficient, you're not over cooling off, right? We wanna make this difficult and efficient. Now that is 100% 1 rep away from failure. One more rep and I'm not getting that up. That's where we want to be. Don't be scared to fail. Don't have too much of an ego that you can't lower the weight to make yourself fail the good way, which is with good form. Okay, next on the list we have Pec Deck. You can do dumbbells. I don't necessarily recommend dumbbells. If you can do cables or Pec Deck, that's the best bang for your buck. And a lot of these exercises too, you can literally do this entire workout in a Smith machine. So if you only have a few things like, you know, dumbbells, Smith machine, you can definitely arrange these in the same way that you can if you with whatever equipment you have at your gym. Now, if you're at home, you can do the same thing, just all dumbbells. So 10 to 15 reps again, 2 second negative, 1 second positive. But some good cues in here I want you guys to understand is making sure we are flat on this, on the ground. Make sure your back stays on this. A lot of times I see your butt out like this way and our back's arched like this. We want to keep ourselves planted on the bench, engaging the core, flexing the abs, and then keeping this at a height that you're not too low or too high. Now, when we're doing this too, there's no need to put on a bunch of weight. I don't want to see all of this stuff. Ease this thing in. A little bend in our elbows, keeping that our fists in front of our chest. We don't want our fists to go behind because then we're putting too much pressure on our shoulders. I want to see fluid movement from here. Those 3 seconds or 2 seconds starts from the top, that 1 second from here. 1, 2. Open up. Make sure you keep those shoulders down, and you'll feel this burn way more with less weight because we're already primed from doing 2 exercises already for chest. Keep the head back. Don't let your neck come forward. Don't have it up high here. Keep it neutral. And that burns. Good thing about this movement is it's doing exactly what the chest muscle is intended to do, which is shoulder adduction, right? That's all it does. Your chest, lower pecs, your middle pec or upper pec, or your intercostal head, your sternal head, your clavicle head, they all attach to your shoulder here and they pull your shoulder in. So when you're doing this, to feel it a little more, I should be able to feel my chest from the second that my hand is on the bar. Again, no need to really warm up. Doing 2 to 3 warm-ups midway into your exercise or your workout is very redundant. Utilize your time. Okay, so cues, guys, let's do this right from the ground, from floor to core. We want to plant those feet. My butt's gonna sit at the back of the bench, flexing my abs, and then to keep my butt on the bench. Let's start from here. Out, push out, and I want to have a neutral spine. So I want my neck, my back, and my butt to be in one straight line. I want to avoid doing this, and I want to avoid doing this. So when we do this exercise, we're putting the load on our chest and not everywhere else. Again, 10 to 15 reps, 2 second negative, and open those chest up. Ease into it. Wow, and that is a pump. Okay, so next we're gonna do overhead press. I'm gonna do standing overhead press. Now you can do machine press, Smith machine press, seated dumbbell press, standing, any press that you wanna do, whatever you can do to the best of your ability. Again, we wanna keep form at the forefront of everything, and as well as keeping the tempo consistent and the contraction consistent. So keep it at 10 to 12 reps. We're really trying to keep control of the weight, forcing a good 2-second negative, 1 second positive. When we're doing barbell, I'm gonna pick this thing up just like a deadlift. You watch that? I'm not gonna just drop it up. I wanna pick it up just like a deadlift, right? Top. Now, if you can clean it up, I'm gonna do a little back side clean just to get up here. Now, when I'm doing this, I wanna stack my joints again. Make sure my fist, wrist, and elbows stay under the bar. Then I'm pressing it again. I'm pressing overhead, right? And keep my shoulders depressed. I don't wanna have them pop out like this. Keep them down, controlling the weight down. 2. Now you can keep it very strict without using a kind of hip drive, but when the reps get harder, you can use your hips. And that's just to help aid the concentric or the positive, so you can then control the negative as well too. So here, my elbows are stacked and head's here. I'm gonna shift back a little bit, pushing up and forward. You can see how my head stays straight. Then on the way down, I'm gonna shift a little bit from here, letting it come right down my face. Again, from here, pushing up. Just a little bit of a duck out of the way, controlling it down. So I'm feeling right now that I'm gonna eventually have to use some hip drive. So 5 reps now, pressing up, 6. A little harder now, I'm gonna use some hips. Controlling it down. Now, some really good cues to kind of give you an idea of like when you're coming close to your, your failing rep. So on the way down, if I can't maintain that 2 seconds and I find myself going, ugh, and just dropping, there's no way I'm gonna get the concentric up, the positive up, right? So use that as a cue. If you ask like, hey, how do I know when I'm coming close to failure rep? It's when you can't control the tempo consistently, the eccentric load on the way down. Okay, so next exercise we have here is a doozy. It's a tricep. It's a 3-motion lateral raise. We have 3 movements in one exercise. First is a variation of a lateral raise. So we're gonna start from here, out forward, and then we're back to here. Don't wrap it around like this. That's not the exercise, right? Once we've done 10 to 15 of these, we're doing 10 to 15 of your regular lateral raise, right? Then we're done that, then we're gonna do a variation of front raise. The easiest way to do this is to have them locked in, pushed together like this and pulling from here. The second hardest way to do that is above your knees, floating from here. The third hardest way is open like this and here. So you pick, you decide which one you wanna try to do, try all of them. But again, this is gonna be one of those workouts, an exercise that you do not wanna grab a bunch of weight. This is going to be exhausting. You're doing basically 30 to 45 reps in a row. Here we go. All right, next. Now you can rest, but you cannot rest with these on your knees. You let them hang all you want. When you're ready, you start. Whew. Burning from you right now, and I want to rest these on my knees so bad, but I'm not. So I'm gonna start off doing them the hardest way, which is I'm gonna let these things hover over my knees and do a front raise. 10 to 15 reps, we're gonna do our best to keep our shoulders down and controlled. Here we go. Here we go, next set. Now again, we're doing 10 to 15 reps. So if you only get 10, 10, 10, that's fine. The goal is to make sure we get in between 10 to 15 reps on each movement, the minimum or the max. 2, 3. All right, I wanna make sure we know a couple things, a couple tips here. Number one, we want to keep our shoulders down. We don't want to have this thing swinging up. We don't want our traps engaged too much. Two, pull out to the side on like a 45-degree angle out to here. We don't have to be like a T straight this way. We can have a little bit of angle coming out this way. And three, keep that core engaged. Here we go. 1, 2. Last one. I'm gonna keep it the harder one. Let hover over my shins, pulling straight up. Keep those chops down. 1, 2, 3. That burns. So if you guys watch the set, not every rep or set has to be continuous up and down. Within your set, you can take a little bit of a breather to gather yourself to get the reps. And that's what I did. If you saw a little bit of a pause here and there. Don't be afraid to do that, using a little bit of those kind of techniques to, get yourself the longest rep or set you can to get the most amount of volume in the muscle. All right, here we go. We're on to the tricep portion of this exercise. We're doing this 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, 2 second negative, 1 second positive. Again, resting between 1 to 2 minutes in between each set. So let's get after it. All right, so good feeler set. With this, I can definitely add more weight on, which I definitely will. Again, you're probably looking at me like, this guy's doing this thing wrong. Any movement you can do that you can make more optimal for you in body position, because not all machines are made equal, right? So this machine, I find, gives me a lot better of a pump and activation this way than it does how it's actually meant to. So there's no problem with that at all, as long as you do something that makes sense. So if you have this machine, go ahead and do it. If you don't, you can use dip machine you have at your gym, assisted dip machine, whatever it is, adjust it for you. If you do a set and you realize that, like I did last set and it wasn't that heavy, I'm not gonna waste my time, resting for 2 minutes. I'm gonna go right away. As soon as I hit that 1 minute, I'm gonna get after it, and then I'll utilize the full 2 minutes when I need to. Let's go. That last rep was very hard. Next rep wasn't getting one up for sure, so I can stick to this weight. My next set, I know I'm gonna use a full 2 minutes, and that next set, I'll probably get less than 15. So expect your strength to decrease as you go. You're going to decrease in strength, but you're not gonna decrease in effort. So just keep that in mind. That was good. It's a good pump. Okay, last but not least, we have a superset of Skullcrushers and then close grip press. Basically, we're gonna take the same grip you have with your Skullcrusher being on the easy bar, inside grip. Do our Skullcrushers, 10 to 15 reps, bring it in front, mid-chest, press out, close grip, 10 to 15 reps. 2 second negative, 1 second positive, and we finish her off. Here we go. Again, when you're doing this, let's keep those wrists neutral. We don't want too much of this, we don't want too much of this. So keep them neutral and strong. Elbow is in from here and then up. Bring this side, 10 to 15. And you can expect this to be the hardest and probably your weakest exercise, being at the very end of your workout and being at a chest exercise and tricep pull too. So you've been primed, basically went to almost failure in every set. These last sets, especially like triceps or the accessories, find a load that you can continue to keep good form and a longer set. All right, last set. Here we go. And that concludes today's workout, ladies and gentlemen. I am pumped. I'm tired, but I feel great. And you'll definitely feel the same way too. And that is it for today's workout, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you give it a try, make sure you guys let us know in the comment section below. I know you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm gonna come out with the tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth for coaching, JonniShreve.com. If you wanna know more about my coaching, guys, book yourself a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct it off any package that you pick. Also hit the description below for those discount codes and promo codes like Johnny10 for 10% off Blue Star Nutraceuticals. Make sure you guys add me on Instagram and TikTok, send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I'll repost it for you, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.